Good evening. Today is Thursday, July 21st. I'm Adrian Alvarez. A U.S. federal court worker and UTEP lecturer is dead tonight. He was kidnapped and murdered in Juarez. Local 4's Anthony Garcia has been working with our reporter in Juarez to cover this story. And Anthony, what can you tell us about the case?
Well, Adrian, Jorge Diapa was murdered more than 2 weeks ago in Juarez. Just this week, Mexican police arrested 3 of the people they say are responsible for his death. This is a picture of 57-year-old Jorge Diapa from UTEP's website. According to the page, he lectured for them and also worked as an interpreter and translator for El Paso Federal Court. Mexican police found Diapa stabbed to death 16 days ago on July 6th in Juarez. His hands were tied and his mouth was covered. Mexican media is reporting that Diapa went to Juarez to have his truck worked on. Juarez police say during his visit, these 3 people, Victor Alfonso Cano Molina, Lisbeth Nayeli Alanis, Antonio Tarango Montes, and another suspect that hasn't been caught, kidnapped him and then demanded a ransom from his family. 3 days ago, police arrested them during a separate investigation and linked them to Diapa's murder.
En ese momento aparecían como presuntos responsables del plagio y de la muerte de un...
At the time, they seemed responsible for the death of a U.S. government employee.
Here's where it gets strange. Police say Lisbeth Nayeli Alanis told them she was Diapa's lover, and she lured him in to be kidnapped. Police say Diapa recognized her, and the family never paid the ransom, so the kidnappers killed him. This morning, we went to Diapa's listed home in El Paso to try and speak with his family, but the man who answered the door refused to talk to us.
His family is not here, no questions. Thank you.
The FBI has not commented on Diapa's murder because they are investigating it. It's their policy not to comment on active investigations. Live in the studio, Anthony Garcia, Local 4 News.
And thank you for that, Anthony. Faculty and staff are shocked at UTEP to hear of the death of Jorge Diapa. We spoke with UTEP staff today who remembered Diapa and say he was a true role model for students. Diapa was a part-time lecturer at the university and was very involved with the progress of students. One professor says the last time she spoke to Diapa, they were talking about getting new equipment for the language and translation department he worked for.
It's one of those that you can't, it's just inconceivable. You can't wrap yourself around it. When I was called and somebody said I have bad news, and I knew it was obviously somebody had died. I could tell from the tone of voice, and they said it's about Jorge Diapa, and I thought, oh, Jorge died. And then when they said he's been killed, my first thought was a car accident, and I said, killed, do you mean murdered? And they said yes. That's just inconceivable, that he would die that way.
Dr. Negro says the impact of Diapa's death has affected